Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Off Campus Podcast. First off, I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me. You could be anywhere, but you chose to be here, so thank you for that. Second, if you don't mind, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends. There's a whole lot to learn in this episode. It's free. You can always change your mind. It'd be a shame if someone missed it. So please do that if you don't mind. Again, I thank you. I really hope you enjoy this video, and I hope that you learn something that you will only learn off campus. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Off Campus Podcast. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm alone today. I'm going to see how it goes. I don't think I'm going to do an hour long. Probably nothing near that. I'm thinking maybe 15, 20 minutes. It's been a very interesting week in society, so I want to go over, some of the things that have been going on. Mainly the tragic shooting in Tennessee. It was in Green Hills, Tennessee, at the Covenant School. It is a Christian private school, and unfortunately, 3 9-year-old kids and 3 adults in their 60s were killed, along with the shooter. So I just want to go over some of that stuff, and also an incredible study that was from 1998 till now, just showing America's values and what they value more now, or how much people value certain things over the others from 1998 to 2023. So we'll go over the shooting first. As you know, I'm sure you guys all know, this is Wednesday when I'm recording this. That shooting happened on Monday. So it's been a few days. There's a lot already out. But, there's a lot that still needs to be learned about it. I hate talking about something I don't really know much about. So I'm going to stay prudent and talk about what I do know and what I think. I used to, probably a year and a half ago to maybe 6 months ago, for like a year, I was really, really into politics. I listened to podcasts all day, every day about politics, watched the news, everything. So I was really, really in it, but now I'm not as much, so I don't want to claim I am. But I have a lot of views that I think you guys might agree with, and if you don't, that's great. Leave it in the comments. I'm going to try not to argue, but I'm open. If you want to comment something, you don't agree with me, that's fine. That's okay. Voice your opinions. I am a free speech absolutist, so definitely go ahead and do that. And on that, also, please leave reviews on this podcast. I want to know what you guys want to hear, and if you want me to keep doing it, if you want me to change it up, let me know on this podcast if you like the shorter ones that are alone, or if you want me to try and do ones alone, maybe longer, or shorter ones with other people. Just let me know. I would love to hear from you guys on that. So we'll move right into it. The shooter was Audrey Hale. It was a 28-year-old female. She was a former student of Covenant School. And she did identify as a transgender man. So she actually went by Aiden. Not sure for how long before this shooting, but that is very important when it comes to the motive of this shooting, it appears. So first off, the officers were super brave. They went right into the school right when they could, and there's body cam footage. I think it actually came out today or maybe yesterday, but I watched it, and yeah, those police officers were super brave. They were running in, kicking down doors, just running. Unfortunately, they had to run past dead bodies to get to the shooter. So, and if you guys know my beliefs, I'm a Christian, so this kind of, I don't know, it felt like an attack, not on me, but it was definitely motivated because, I don't know, we'll talk about it, but just keep the families in your prayers. The seven people who died, including the shooter. Keep their family in prayer. Same with the children, and obviously the people in their 60s who unfortunately got killed as well. Let's see. Yeah. I think one of the big things that the media immediately went to is gun control, because a lot of the times with shootings or any tragic events, what the media does is they try and fit it into their narrative. So pretty much every shooting, they go on gun control. They go after gun control, and they generally bring in racism or sexism or xenophobia, something like that. So if a white supremacist goes into a Jewish synagogue and shoots up a Jewish synagogue, obviously the media is immediately going to jump to racism and xenophobia. So that's usually what happens. But in this case, since it was a transgender person shooting up a Christian school, there's a lot of hot takes from the media, and that is kind of why I want to go over it, because it's a huge difference from what it used to be when shootings happen. I feel like I was young when the Boston Marathon happened, but I knew what was happening, and I feel like America kind of came together on that. And I know I heard that about 9/11 too, and when 9/11 happened, like, people didn't bring politics into it. They did a little bit after. But this was immediate. And some of the things the tweets that I heard or saw, I'm going to be reading some of those too. It's just incredible how they painted the shooter as the victim and the people who died as the victimizers. And, it's really sad to see. But that's mainly the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because shootings at this point in America don't really seem too surprising. They're always tragic and always sad, but it's less surprising than it used to be. But the response to this shooting in particular really, really got to me and really surprised me. I didn't think people would say stuff like this, even if I thought they were thinking it. But I think one of the big things about this, actually leaning into that, is that victims and victimizers are kind of they're made before, so you're always a victimizer if you're white and male in this country, and for some reason the left will tell you that if you're black, or if you're a female, or if you're gay, or whatever, that you're a victim and you can't do well in this country because of systemic racism, systemic sexism, anything like that. And I think that's a horrible message to be telling people, because I see a lot of successful black guys and girls, and I think telling a little, like, let's say 8-year-old black kid, they're very impressionable. 8-year-olds are very impressionable. So if they're hearing in school all day that they're victims, they're never going to be successful because the system is against you and there's nothing you can do about it, because that's just how it is. Well, those kids are going to grow up with a horrible mindset. They're going to blame everything on other people and the so-called system, and they're never going to get out of it, which is horrible. That's a horrible thing to tell people. So, yeah, that's a horrible thing. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to try and go a little quicker. It's 9 minutes in already, and I've barely gotten to it. So, let's see. A lot of people were saying because we have guns means we can't be sad about this. Actually, I'm going to bring up one of the tweets right now. 1 second. Okay, so this was from Post Politics. The Washington Post, actually, they had an article, And the article title was GOP Congressman from Nashville District Heartbroken by Shooting. A 2021 photo shows his family with firearms. So basically what they're saying there is that this congressman from Nashville isn't allowed to mourn this tragic event because he owns firearms. And I thought about it, and it's the same sort of thing as saying if you have a car, you can't be sad about fatal car crashes, or if you drink alcohol, you can't be sad about people who get in car accidents from DUIs or die from alcohol poisoning, which is just horrible logic, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna go through these tweets. So these are ones kind of just painting the shooter as the victim. So Benjamin Ryan, not sure what post he's from. He tweeted, NBC has ID'd the Nashville school shooter as Audrey Hale, 28, who identifies as transgender and had no previous criminal record. Nashville is home to the Daily Wire, a hub of anti-trans activity by Matt Walsh blog, Ben Shapiro, and Michael J. Knowles. So basically what they're saying there is they're saying that because Tennessee has a bunch of anti-trans people, famous people in it, means they're the reason that Audrey decided to go shoot up that school. It's just horrible. These are crazy. Another one from Benjamin Ryan. I'm pretty sure he quickly deleted that one, but everyone gets their screenshots in. And then he put up, designated female at birth, the Nashville shooter who died by police gunfire, identified as transgender and used he, him pronouns. So another thing I thought was really weird about this was the media immediately started blaming people for misgendering Audrey Hale, which is crazy to me. I don't think a shooter deserves the respects of her preferred pronouns either way. And it's just crazy. People defending it, not condoning it, but excusing it. And just the wording's crazy. Who died by police gunfire. So they're also blaming the police, or just trying to paint a bad picture on police for shooting the shooter. Let's see that one. We already read that. This is from Alejandra Caraballo. Thank God Tennessee protected the children from so-called horrors of drag and gender-affirming care so they can be shot up at a school by an AR-15 instead. This is because Tennessee recently just passed a bill banning drag queen shows for minors. So and the medical mutilation of minors, transition surgeries. So for minors. So she's basically saying that's why it happened. The Tennessee government is to blame. She's not exactly saying that. But those are completely different. I don't think so what she's saying is basically let's take away the guns and we should be able to mutilate and healthy organs from minors just because they feel like the opposite gender, which is kind of crazy to me. This is another tweet from Kat Amarco. I don't condone Audrey Hale's actions, though I understand their outrage against an intolerant state that brainwashes children through religious indoctrination. The reality is this human still identified as that child attending that school and carried that pain into adulthood. This is crazy to me. This one in particular is crazy to me because she's saying she understands the shooter's pain, whatever she was going through, which, yeah, I'm sure she didn't have an easy life, but a lot of people don't have easy lives. A lot of people don't. So, but it's no excuse to commit a crime, especially when it involves shooting up a school. Let's see, this is bringing up religious indoctrination. So she's basically the who's at fault for a trans shooter killing a bunch of Christian school kids and adults. The actual victimizers are Christians, and the actual victim is Audrey Hale. And yeah, there's more. This is another tweet from someone. I still think Tennessee got what it deserved today. You can't victimize people nonstop and expect something bad not to happen. They're not victimizing anyone to begin with. And yeah, bad stuff happens, but something like this is crazy. You do bear responsibility for your actions. So if you harm someone else, you're going to get harmed against most of the time. But passing a bill and then someone shooting up a school, those aren't really, you can't compare those. Those are not comparable. And last one, yeah. F this, oppressed minorities strike back, and if you don't want it to happen, stop oppressing them. People with nothing left to lose will sometimes not kill themselves, but instead become martyrs. See all of history. I won't pretend like this wasn't caused by the recent legislation in Tennessee. So they're saying the same thing. But actually this one was more direct in saying that, well, do this and people are going to get killed. Now, Joe Biden came to speak out on this. He had another press meeting for something else, but because this happened, he was going to speak on this to start off. And he came out weirdly talking about ice cream. So he came out on stage and he said, "Oh, I'm Joe Biden." People are laughing. So I love Jimmy's chocolate chip ice cream. I have a whole thing upstairs, a whole fridge upstairs full of it. And it was just really awkward. He was joking around, laughing, saying, "Oh, who are those pretty kids back there?" And just being really weird. And I don't expect. I hate people who fake mourn. But with something like this, you'd expect there would be genuine sadness coming from the president, but I guess not. So I just thought that was really weird. Another thing, Jane Fonda on The View, they were talking about what they should do with Christians, and she literally said to murder them. And it was funny. The ladies around her were being like, "Oh yeah, she's joking," and she just had a straight face the whole time. And she's like, "Oh," the ladies around her, "Oh, don't say that. She's joking," but she's not. All right. They're blaming the parents. A lot of people are blaming the parents because they didn't accept her for who she was. With the motive for this, it's pretty obvious, I think. And, it's a trans person, former student of the school, shooting up a Christian private school, the one that they went to. So I think the motive is pretty obvious, but there's two things that the media are doing. Either they're blaming evil Christians, that's one thing, or they're pretending not to know. So Merrick Garland was asked, and he says he doesn't know what the motive was. And don't forget, Merrick Garland is the man who used the FBI to investigate parents who went to school board meetings during COVID and a little bit after COVID in, let's say, 2021. End of 2021, because they just had questions about what their kids were learning at school. Biden was asked, and he said, "Oh, I don't know." The reporter said back, Josh Hawley said that it was a hate crime. And he made a joke. He's like, "Oh, if Josh Hawley said it, then it's probably not true." So, and that was yesterday. So 2 days in a row, Joe Biden's making jokes on a subject that's not really funny. And Reuters, I thought this was pretty crazy. Just the way they worded this, they said former Christian school student attacks Christian school. So obviously leaving out very important details there. This is what happens when there's no accountability in the media. The media already has their choice of victims and victimizers. And so they can't say that the Christian school students were the victims in here. They can't say that because their ideology suggests that Christians are evil because they're hateful. They don't accept gay people. They don't accept trans people. And since trans people are one of the groups that are so-called victims of society and systemically, they're oppressed, systemically oppressed, that they can't be the victims. And what's really, it's just crazy. This response to the shooting from the media and not even just the media, other people. So that's what I have on the shooting. I'm sure there's more, but that's all I have to give now. We're going to go into a study. I wish I knew where it was from, but it was a survey going over the values of people in America in 1998, 2019, and 2023. So they asked people how important patriotism is, religion is, having children, community involvement, and money. So, and I thought this was really interesting. So in 1998, when asked if patriotism is important, 70% of people said yes. In 2019, that number went down to 61%. So in 23 years, that doesn't add up. 21 years, it went down 9%. Now, since 2019, 4 years, it's gone down to 38%. So 38% of people think patriotism is important to them. Now, religion. In 1998, 62% of people said it's important to them. In 2019, that number dropped to 48%. And in 2023, that dropped to 39%. So everything seems to be going down. Having children, in 1998, 59% of people. In 2019, 43% of people. And in 2023, it's 30% of people. So less than a third of people in America right now think having children is important. Community involvement, in 1998, 47%. 2019, 62%, and 2023, only 27%. So just over a quarter of people in America think community involvement is important now. And actually, this one's a little bit different. It went 47 in 1998 to 62 in 2019. I think this is because of the definition of community involvement. Like when asked in 1998, people more thought churches, social clubs, local schools, stuff like that. And in 2019, and I think in 2023, more people will think, political rallies, stuff like that. So, and then this one is the interesting one. So in 1998, when asked if money is important to people, 31% of people said yes. In 2019, that number was 39%. And in 2023, it's gone up to 43%. So all real moral values have gone down substantial amounts from 1998 and even from 2019 in America. And yet money has gone up, which not sure if there's a direct correlation there, but I have a feeling there is. They also switched it up between Democrats and Republicans to see, and I mean, I'm sure you can tell kind of where that went. They also did it for age 18 to 29-year-olds. So for patriotism, age 18 to 29-year-olds, just over 20% think patriotism is important. 30% for religion, less than 25% for having children, and for hard work, 63%, which I have a feeling back in 1998 that number would be closer to 80 or 90%. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And one of the things that is directly happens because of this is way more people are unhappy. Now, I don't have a study for this, but I'm sure you can look some up. People just tend to be way more unhappy now, especially teenagers, and because they have no reason to, they have no will to live. They have nothing to fight for. Men don't have responsibilities. There's no traditional values anymore, or all traditional values are shamed and said to be racist and sexist and horrible, even violent sometimes, which is just crazy. And there is a quote from Alexis de Tocqueville from her book in 1835. And if this doesn't explain American culture to you right now, well, I don't know what will, because this is pretty incredible. I'm gonna read this to you. It's a paragraph long, but you're here, you're listening, so deal with it. I seek to trace the novel features under which despotism may appear in the world. The first thing that strikes the observation is an innumerable multitude of men, all equal and alike, incessantly endeavoring to procure the petty and paltry pleasures with which they glut their lives. Each of them, living apart, is as a stranger to the fate of all the rest. His children and his private friends constitute to him the whole of mankind. As for the rest of his fellow citizens, he is close to them, but he does not see them. He touches them, but he does not feel them. He exists only in himself and for himself alone, and if his kindred still remain to him, he may be said, at any rate, to have lost his country. Very insightful from Alexis de Tocqueville in 1835, almost 200 years later, basically saying exactly how our country is. So we're going to kind of pick that apart. We're moving on. We're moving to the end of this podcast, but quickly, let's see. So as for the rest of his fellow citizens, he is close to them, but he does not see them. He touches them, but he does not feel them. This has to do with the falling apart of community. I think local communities are, well, they've totally fallen apart, pretty much. People live with their families. Family values are being torn apart as well. But one thing that society's trying to do right now is tear apart any sense of community, whether that is family, whether that's local community, whether that's religious community, anything like that. Society's trying to rip that away. So it's basically saying that there's people in society, they're around, they're with people, but they're not actually with the people. They're not part of the people, but they're with them. So that's about all I got. Again, keep the victims in your prayers, the victims' families in your prayers, the suspects' parents and other family in their prayers. There's a lot of people affected by this. It's very sad to see the attack of on Christianity in America. It's really, really incredible. And it really surprised me how people reacted to this online. But, you got to stay positive. You got to work hard. Be something that no one else is. And, yeah, that's all I got. So if you don't mind, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a whole lot to me. And it'll let me know to keep going. And also, please comment if you have any views that are different than mine, or if you have any other insight into these two topics. I would love to hear it. I will respond to you. I will try to respond to you. And that's it. So thank you for listening. I really hope you have a great day. I enjoyed this. So let me know, again, if you want me to do more of these. And peace out.